Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching the Daybreak. My name is Edirisa Muwonge. Like I promised that when I come back, I'll be back with a leader, as a matter of fact, a chairman of a certain district, that is Kasanda District, Mr. Kasiri Zimula, and we are discussing the progress of government initiatives to combat poverty. This government, like I said earlier, it has come out with a number of initiatives, stretching from the Ntandikwa, Myoga, and now PDM. But the question is, has it achieved its objective of, elevating Ugandans, status? That is, moving them from that state of poverty to a state where they can enjoy. Like I said earlier, the president said that we are now in a middle income status, middle income economy. And the question is, can every Ugandan really feel that? Also, there being Labor Day, he's also going to be sharing with us his perspective. The state of employees in the country. What are some of the policies that have not been put in place to help, to cater for the employees' welfare? Good to have you, Mr. Chairman. How are you, sir?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Morning to you, sir.
Yes.
I'm from Kasanda, a district of Ohane, Milik, and Igorod. It's the richest district in the central region.
Also joking, the district of Ebola.
Great, but we are declared Ebola free.
Sure. So bring us to speed.
Yes.
How your district has progressed, from the Ebola effects. Is it now Ebola free, like you're saying? And are there some, some effects of Ebola that were left behind that you still feel?
Yeah, we are still suffering because, as you know, many of Ugandans are suffering from.
Because you were put under
lockdown.
Quarantine for how many?
For 2 months.
Okay.
So
the effects of that?
Yeah. The small business we are operating nowadays as SME is, you go there to get something to eat. It's what we call from job to mouth. No, if such a business is affected for 60 days without working, you know what it means.
Sure.
That's a capital of 50,000 shillings. It's a capital of 500,000 shillings. People go to markets to vendor their things. They are totally affected. But being a rural district where we mostly survive on agriculture, at least we are slowly picking up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So today is Labor Day.
Yes.
You are a boss yourself, because you're chairman of a whole district.
Yes.
How are your employees, your subordinates in your district? What kind of working environment are they working under?
Labor is...
Did you do self-evaluation yourself? What kind of environment have you created for your employees?
Labor is divided into two. Mostly we who are coming from rural districts. Labor is divided into two. There is casual labor and a professional one. With the professional labor, people are okay because they are paid every time they are like. Though there is a lot of challenges in local government, mostly all around the government workers. They are paid less, no other attachments on their payments. People suffer from less payment due to this type of economy we are experiencing today. But they are there doing their work. Dodging, in Kasanda, people start their weekend on Wednesday. They, they go back for their weekend. They don't work on Thursdays. They don't work on Fridays. That is government workers. Yes. But they are doing their work. They have no problem. And they are contented. They are contented. Yeah.
I wanted to share your perspective on something that the president has always declared, and that is what is a prayer of every employee, and that is the minimum wage. This government has said that it's a wrong idea. The president's argument was that it is going to discourage some investors from coming here. It was also going to make some people lose employment, because if there is a set, pay, a standard pay, it means that not everybody can afford, to meet that payment. So what they're going to do, they're going to deny some people employment. And that's, that's the reason why the president is declining to put it in place. You as a government, you know, a government official, because you're boss of a district, and also an employer, do you think it is necessary to really have, you know, a minimum wage in place, or we can still do without it? Because this is, like I said, it's a prayer of any employee, including myself.
There are many issues that determine how much should one be paid. And in Uganda here, we are practicing what we call liberalized economy, call it a free market economy. With the free market economy, we meet in the market. It's the market that decides the price. What you pick, what you decide to take, it's tagged with a price. Call it a price tag. We have schools in Kasanda and you're around the country. Those schools employ teachers and other, you know, non-teaching staff. Think about a private school in Kasanda where one picks someone from senior 4, senior 3 to use him or her as a teacher. And another school in Kampala here, talk about Saporo Kagwa and the other big schools in the town, where one should hold a degree, if not two, to stand in a primary class. You get it? Do you think the two should have the same? That's one. Two, with the free market economy, again, let me stick on that, because it's what determines how things should move. And one time I was hearing from one minister saying that fuel has gone up and the government is doing entire side, you know, hard to make sure that they are reducing fuel. I was thinking, I was asking myself that how this should be, because this type of economy we are practicing allows one to put a price tag on every commodity according to the demand. How comes that a government can determine a price of fuel?
The government has no right to regulate.
Regulate how? Because
let me remind you, the
yes.
dealers in fuel,
yeah,
they were saying that one of the reasons they were hiking the prices is because of the high taxes they're subjected to. So the government, if the government moved in and you know, reduced on the taxes, it reduced on taxing this fuel, obviously the prices would go down.
Don't forget that what you put in terms of trade is what you expect as outcome. You can't put in like 10,000 and you expect 3,000. Fuel, oil is bought from almost one center. And the cost from where they buy it from to the pump determines how much a liter should be. Now, how comes that a minister can say that you reduce it, put it at this cost? That is impossible. Same to this, what you have asked. A school in Kasanda is giving a teacher 100,000 shillings because it's charging a student 20,000 shillings. That can't be the same with a school like Saporo Kagwa, where people are paying higher in terms of tuition, and vis-a-vis the payment to the teacher should be high.
But don't you think, Mr. Chairman, there's also exploitation in this country, where you find, you know, a company is really big and makes a lot of profits, but they underpay the employees. Now that you used an example of schools, you find a school which has over 1,000 students who are paying, in fact, even 1 million shillings, but a teacher is being paid 400,000 a month. Isn't that underpaying?
No, you know, you may call it...
Is it not exploitation?
True, you have a point, but that is the setting. It's the setting. You move around the city and you see these shops around the arcades and the malls in the city. How much are they paying as per rent? And how do you determine that? People are paying much money, but they don't get even a receipt. Knowing that at the end of the day, we may have someone who pays bigger and we chase this one away. No contract. That's how we survive. You should know that. This is a situation that comforts everybody, even the government.
No, but doesn't comfort everybody.
Government should come up.
An employee is really is feeling suppressed.
Government should come up with.
They have hopes in government to come out and put regulations.
Let me show you one thing. What is disturbing this country? Part of the problems of this country in the economy. I'm telling you, it's the investors that are posing as investors. They come in the country and do those small works that one, a local citizen should do. And the government calls them big investors. These are our fathers. These are the fathers of the economy.
I hear that others have started hawking merchandise.
You see? Now that is the situation. And you think the government should come up and determine a minimum wage. You see?
Tell me, why does this government, in fact, a certain representative of workers in parliament, I'm glad yesterday you raised something I've been raising. Why does this government, seem to care so much about foreign investors as compared to their counterparts, the local investors? You know the incentives they're subjected to, they're entitled to.
Many.
Very many.
Many.
How come a one Zimulaka city who maybe even has enough money to do investment here, but is not allocated the same incentives? What's the logic behind it?
Having investors in the country is not bad, because we have seen them all around the world. People fly from one country. Now, the world is one village. But, the fairness, the game should be fair. What you are giving to an investor from India should be given to a local investor in Uganda. That's how fairness it should be. And why, business people in Kampala here, traders, are quarreling is because of that unfairness. There is a distribution channel. We know very well that this one is a manufacturer, this one is a distributor, this one is a wholesaler, this one is a retailer, the other one is an end user, calling him a consumer. That is not the situation. But how fair it is, it's not only for investors from outside the country, but even local investors here. Yes. I see them hawking bread. Is the one who is manufacturing bread, and there's the same person who is hawking the same all around the country. That is the setting. It is taking us nowhere, but that is what the managers of this country want.
And I'm wondering.
And they know the repercussions, by the way. They know what should come.
So what is driving them then to leave things the way they are?
Something should be done, and that's why many investors, local investors here, are flying away from the country and invest their money from other countries. Oh. That's what they are doing. Men are parking and going away.
Uganda?
Yes, Uganda.
Taking his money to go and invest somewhere else.
Definitely.
And those the corrupt we are talking about.
No.
You make your money through legal means. And
you have a right. You have a right to invest wherever you want, because it's your money and it's a private money. But even investors you are talking about, I met last 2 weeks. I met construction companies in the country, both local and internationals. They are parking and they are going. Rocco went. Do you have that information? And many are going. Think about these big shopping malls like Nakumat, ShopRite, and others. They went. Because
we are not to blame for that.
The rough ground.
They parked even out in other countries.
You see. And we can't survive like that. This is a third world country, and we have to work hard to make sure that, our economy is independent. It's not a point of argument, like before you were hearing that others were saying that we are now already in a middle class income, others were saying that no, how do we reach there? Because it's not a political issue.
When you look at the state of your people, in your district, Kasanda happens to be one of those districts where people are really impoverished. Oh, I'm wrong about that.
That's wrong because one, Kasanda, 97% of the residents of Kasanda, they have a job. Now, it's another debate whether they gain from the same or not, but they're employed. They are not job seekers in 97%. Now the 3% are those boys, those youth who are border riders. They don't have where to do farming and everything. They survive on borders. The same borders are not theirs. They are owned by someone else. Those are the 3 that we think they are not comfortable on their jobs. They don't have job security. But others, they grow coffee, they grow food, you know.
They are so much involved with agriculture.
Definitely.
And indeed agriculture pays.
Now, another debate is one, do they gain from what they are producing? There is one thing, one should be hard worker, and another one is to be, you know, to benefit from your sweat. You get it? This is a district where we have vest. I have to rest while airing this out. We have vest. Gold worth 1.5 billion shillings a day.
That's where I was headed. We are talking about one of the districts that produce gold. It could be the second position of the highest producing
Let
gold districts.
me give you a list of wealth we have in Kasanda. 1 is gold. 2 is coffee, banana, and everything, and we call Kasanda food basket because we are producing many food, much food for the country to consume. 3, it's one of the districts in the country that are cattle rearing. We are having milk at 800 shillings, 1,000, a liter of milk. Now the reason, do we gain from what we are doing? That is the debate. And if not, what are the reasons?
Why wouldn't you, when you're the ones who determine the market?
You get it. May I start with the gold
We're
or
a free
this
market
other?
economy, so if you determine the
No,
market,
with the free market economy, there are again there are other some hindrances. You may practice that, but even the situation limits you from getting what you are supposed to get.
What is the situation?
Within the free market economy,
What is the situation like?
traders in Kampala are crying. You see, these people are producing and are hawkering. We are buying from the same center, that is China, but others pay taxes, then others not. That we are practicing free market economy. But there are some challenges again, that hurdles that limit such to reach the success. Now, Kasanda is a food basket. And one time during the Ebola time, season, Prime Minister raised me, telling me that we are sending you beans and maize flour for your people because we know they are no longer go where they are supposed to get something to eat. Now we are sending you food, a relief sort of. Then I told her that Kasanda is not that type.
Oh, Mr. Chairman.
That's what I told her.
How do you know?
Kasanda is not that type.
You were looking at only those who are close to you.
What we need is one. With Ebola, we don't allow people to gather. That one we agree. You see, we must live a cautious life. But it doesn't affect anybody if one picks his motorcycle, go to the garden and pick fresh food for his family. Only allow border riders to travel, to move, without putting on passengers. If you do that for me, then put the food you think that should be for Kasanda to Karamoja.
Wait, you rejected food relief to your people.
And I boldly say that in camera. I'll show you the results.
Are you sure that every family was faring well?
I'll show you the
feeding
results.
is concerned.
The 3% in Kasanda.
You can't know that, Mr. Chairman.
I'm telling you, the 3% I told you about in Kasanda, those border riders, they have families where they come from. And they can survive from the food there.
Now you
Kasanda, we are throwing away food.
You speak as if you know each and every household, how they are, their welfare, which is practically impossible. You can't know the
I think you need to get time and move to Kasanda. See the type of Kasanda I'm talking about. You need to go there, where you can get a bunch of banana at 5,000 shillings. If you find it in Busega, Kampala here,
And you think
at 30,000.
And you think everybody can afford 5,000, Mr.
No,
Chairman?
no, no, 5,000.
Let me tell you the fact, share with you some facts.
Yes.
The research that was conducted some time back, and they were saying that a very big percentage of Ugandans are surviving under $1. $1 is something like 3,800.
True.
Okay?
True.
So now if you talk about a bunch of bananas going for 5,000, and you sound as if that is so cheap, well, I want to tell you, Mr. Chairman, that not every Ugandan can afford 5,000 shillings.
I'm taking your point serious. For Zimula, who is buying a bunch of banana, not everybody can afford that. That's why many are surviving from chapatis and beans on the roadsides. But I'm talking about someone in Kasanda, a farmer in Kasanda, who can sell a bunch of banana at 5,000 shillings, and you think that he's suffering from hunger, and you are supposed to give them, rotten beans, stayed in the store for years.
So the food relief.
While he's having fresh beans, the same fresh beans in his garden.
You didn't allow that into your district?
I didn't. And let me show you what happened.
What was the reaction from your
Let me show you what happened. They used their powers and everything, and they brought the same in Kasanda. But next day, maize flour, beans, which was distributed to the people, thinking that they are suffering, was in the shops. And it made RDC busy, arresting everybody. Because the one you gave beans is not in need. They had to look money from it. My chairman, one of my LC3 chairperson, the GISO, and the others were arrested. I don't know where the case ended.
For diverting from
you see, because you have given them something they don't want. They have food. That's how the story ended.
No, here we are
and if you have a number for RDC, you will invite her.
They didn't reach the targeted beneficiary.
No.
The targeted beneficiary was waiting, was in need.
No.
But it fell in the hands of the corrupt who diverted.
Food was given to Zimula, Alex and William, citizens of Kasanda. But because they had better food than this, they took the shops.
For somebody.
That's how the story ended.
Let's talk about gold, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Gold is, who benefits from this gold? Who's engaged in gold mining in Kasanda? Is there a formalized, licensing? Who engages in? Because there was, I think, is it 5 years ago? When people were, engaged in gold mining, they were all asked to vacate. That incident, remember?
I know.
Of course you know.
And
Bring us to speed. They were forced to leave, and then somebody else came and took over. Bring us to speed. What exactly is transpiring here in those gold mines in Kasanda? Who's in charge?
Gold all over the world is a blessing. But in Kasanda, I'm talking about Kasanda because I have authority. In fact, I'm the official spokesperson of the district.
Very true.
With the Kasanda, God is a curse. May I say that again?
It's
Not just gold all over the world.
It's only oil, which we thought was a curse. But
now,
for gold,
add on gold.
Particularly in Kasanda.
In Kasanda. I hear from my fellow chairpersons around the country where gold is harvested. Talk about Karamoja. Karamoja is the biggest harvesters of gold in the country. They are harvesting 42 kgs, 42 kilograms of gold every day. Busia, they are harvesting gold, and the other districts. Now in Kasanda, gold mines in Kasanda was shared within, I think the agreement was done within a bush war, saying that when we capture power, when we take over power,
sit down and share.
Zimla will take this. This one will take this. That was the situation.
Okay.
And I don't fear to say that.
Were they even aware that it was good in Kasanda?
All mines in Kasanda are owned by a lady, my mother, because of the age, Michala Anjuba. She owns everything. And you remember what she did in the Bush War. You can remember that.
I know.
Now, basing on that, don't expect anything from there. Until recently, there is a confusing story because the president of this country signed and blessed a law. That's a mining act where he gave us a good percentage on whatever is invested there in terms of royalties. The law is there. And you can use it the way you like. But again, the Minister of Energy went to the Parliament and informed them that from today onwards, gold miners, and gold in particular, should not be charged any tax. The law is there. The law is there. Mining Act is there. But there is a statement from the minister saying that no taxes should be charged from gold.
First take us, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Back when government moved to vacate all the gold miners, what exactly pushed the government to do so?
Government, no, that is gold politics. With the gold politics, we think that Zimula is not doing what he's supposed to do for us. Now let us remove him and we put Alex in place. And that story is wide. And if we am to articulate that on the air, we may end badly here. I'm telling you.
Please do, because you brought here to give us information.
If you can remember one day, one minister was Shimuloni, by then a state minister for energy. He led a group of members of parliament to one biggest mine in Kasanda called Kisita, where we think blessed people in this country are harvesting, are comfortably harvesting gold. They denied them a chance to see what is being done there. That was a minister. Just recently,
this is heavily guarded.
Just recently, by the time of Lopo Mathasi Mpuga, he decided to come to Kasanda and see how we are doing things in Kasanda. He came with like 10 members of parliament and other important people in this country. We escorted him, and he wanted to see how mines are doing the work there. We went to Kisita, and the same happened to us.
You were blocked.
I tried to demonstrate a situation.
Chairman of a district.
Chairman of
Who can block you?
12 members of parliament.
Or you did notify them when you were going there?
No. Why notify?
You were trespassing.
Because
that's against the law.
I myself, being a political head of the district, you can't stop me from visiting whatever I want in the district.
It's a private facility. You were trespassing.
Which one is
You're
private?
violating the law.
Which one is private?
The other
Gold
place.
mine is private? No. If I can visit homestays the way I like, I can check even behind the house, see whether you have a toilet or what. How do you think that I can't go in the gold
So who is into gold mining?
Whoa.
Are there companies that are known? Are these individuals? You just mentioned one person.
Let me promise
and that's the
viewers,
wife, the late Joba Karega.
Let me promise viewers that next time, if you give me a chance to sit here, after a wide consultation, I'll give you the names and you'll be shocked. Those who are behind gold mines. You'll get shocked.
Are they those who are close, those who are in power?
If I'm talking about people that will shock you, then you understand. That one is enough for you to understand. Who are behind this? And it's bad. Because in politics we say we don't have permanent enemies.
Neither are they permanent friends.
Definitely. Do you know what it means?
Is that why you're hesitating to mention the names?
Do you know what it means? Zimula is a DP today. You never know. Tomorrow could be a movie.
NRM.
You see?
That's where
Moses Sali was fighting this country. I mean this government. With gun. Moreover with gun.
That was
that
second
is now
deputy prime minister.
among the prime ministers. So that's what it means, that no permanent and permanent.
When you speak like that,
Now, my statement is, let me try with this statement.
your voter might not take that statement lightly. Are you contemplating, switching posts?
No. Don't interpret things wrongly.
Okay.
But I have informed the public on what is going on. Now, what I fear and what I wouldn't want to see is for this government to create future enemies. Future enemies are very dangerous.
Future enemies.
Very dangerous in politics. In fact, if there is something we should fear and avoid, is future enemies in politics.
Indeed. I'm just running very fast. I want to take you now to the PDM particularly.
Yes.
How is it faring in your area? The Ugandans in that part of the country benefiting from this government's initiative, which was perceived as the last bullet in poverty's head.
Can't it be Kasirye Zimola, the LC5 chairperson, an economist who took long at the university studying business, to say that PDM is bad? Government to prepare a portion to our people down there is bad. Because 39% of Ugandans survive below poverty line. And 67% of them are not in money economy. Now, at least basing on the two, we can decide to say that all government programs that are designed to empower people down there can't be bad. But what makes them bad or doubtable, that may be the aim of setting them is good or bad, is that the way they design these programs. In management, we have what we call planning, and planning is done in two ways. There is what we call top to bottom type of planning and bottom to top way of planning.
Okay.
People fear bottom to top type of planning because it's like something expensive. It involves everybody. It holds a lot of sensitization. They prefer top to bottom because a few people sit and think for the beneficiaries. Then they bring benefits. Now the interpretation. If you design something from up, by the time you bring it down, people already know that this is our benefit. This is a prize. This is a reward. You see, that's why one time, Honorable Chams,
Okay, the man.
after giving people money for Intandikwe at Samba Bugerwa, you heard about that. He told the public that that is money for appreciating you because you have voted in 7. And that money did not do a great work.
Now that is the leader misleading his followers. Because what was the intent of government giving us this money?
You know why? That is the planning I'm telling you about. The Myoga. Just listen, the Myoga.
Yes.
The recent program. In fact, it was designed from Kasana. One youth in Kasana sat down and he came up with a project. He sold it to the president and he bought it. Amazingly, it's doing bad in Kasana.
The word doesn't sound like it is from Kasana.
Definitely.
Kasana, the word.
Yes.
Emyoga.
Emyoga. I don't know how they planned it, but it was started from Kasana. Now, the planning, the problem is planning. Kasanda has received the close to 40 billion shillings.
In what program? Emyoga? PDM?
The Emyoga, the PDM, the UEPO, the Youth Livelihood, Rwenzori cows, fisheries, and everything. Those things that come from the central government to help people down there.
When you say it has received, has it reached you, the leaders, or it has reached the targeted individuals?
No, definitely. It comes from the central government to the district accounts. But many times...
Because why I'm asking you, you have seen your colleagues in other districts embezzling these funds. You've seen the other districts being busy arresting these officials, the cows, for embezzling these monies that are targeting, you know, the beneficiaries, the ordinary people. So in fact, it turns out that the leaders, some of your colleagues, are the ones who are frustrating the government's efforts.
No, it's not.
To
For
alleviate
me,
poverty.
I insist, and he's saying that it's the planning. I started a small project in Kasanda in terms of helping people to have small capital of 100,000 shillings. I started with 10 million shillings. I'm now in 50 million shillings. Doing the same, it's like a revolving fund. Okay. I give you 100,000 shillings, then within 3-4 months, you bring it back, then I give it to someone. Close to 50, and it's a private project.
That's a Kasiri initiative.
You get it? How comes that millions and millions and billions of money, like Myoga, it was 1.5 billion. 1.5 billion. You thrive, it was 2.5. You whip much money. People are given goats and cows, nowhere to be seen. They don't sensitize these people on how best they can.
All you the leaders, you're not doing enough, because you cannot blame the central government, Mr. Chairman. The central government is up there. You, the local leaders, you're the ones who are supposed to supervise.
What do you expect a leader to do? Let me give you an example. How bad is a planning from top to bottom? If I bring back today a booklet that I was given by the Minister of Government to sensitize my people, I was given a huge number of books to distribute them in the district, to make sure that people are sensitized over the same. Now, if I bring back the same booklet and I start educating people around the Kassan, I get arrested that I'm diverting people from the right thing. The same book. And if I give it to you right now, you read it to the public, they will arrest you. But there's the same people who did this. Now, they don't involve leaders in arrangements of this. They only bring them on board on implementation. And the same implementation is not clear.
For that matter, you get upset and so you choose to frustrate these efforts?
No.
Or you don't do enough supervision? Maybe also doing it deliberately, given the fact that, look, for example, you're a DP, you just mentioned.
Yes.
In other words, your opposition.
And what does it mean?
Obviously, you cannot wish this government well. You cannot wish them, you know, their manifesto to be successful, because you know that if it became successful,
if I'm to be honest,
they are most likely to succeed in the next election.
If I'm
so
not,
you're politicking, you're politicizing everything.
If I'm to be honest, I can't fight any government program, because at the end of the day, I'm the beneficiary. Me as a leader, if
you would want to see your people progress.
If a resident get $1 million shilling, then it's a relief to me, because the time I'll go there, he'll not ask me for the soda. You get it? Because he's already $1 million here. He got $1 million shillings. I'm the beneficiary, though I'm an elected beneficiary, but I'm among the beneficiaries.
Okay.
But the problem is one. Why don't you involve leaders right from local, administrative unit, LC1, upwards, for them to know what to do?
They're not aware?
People are there, but they don't know how things move. I was talking to my commercial officer, my former commercial officer. He left his job, he's now in other things. He told me that I don't know how I can explain the situation by the time money from yoga was on accounts. I got phone calls from State House, from big people.
Yes.
I can't even mention here, that please give out money. The commercial officer was telling me that I know that this money is going to be given out, but they will not come back because of the arrangement. People have no accounts, people have no what. But people from the State House are on me.
They're pushing him to release the money.
Do the best, because now opposition is saying that this money is not there. Give out the money.
Mr. Chairman.
And they did the same.
Our time is fast.
Yeah, I'm here to inform the government. Yes. And if I'm talking to the government, again, I'm talking to myself. because I'm part of the government. Even you who is viewing this project, program, you are part of the government. We are telling ourselves and our colleagues that what we are doing is wrong. It's at the service of our degree to this country. Those who are lying, they know the right fact. Your lie can't stand when you don't know the fact. It remains a lie when you know the truth. Do the truth to this country. And you avoid being blamed. I talked about future enemies. The future enemies wanted to burn the dead body of Milton Obote in the well. The dead body even. Now, if you are creating future enemies, you are not safe. That's why Africans don't want to leave power because of that.
That's a big point.
Thank you for this program. Thank you for listening in, and I appreciate for this opportunity.
Thank you as well. Yeah. I like the statement that you made there, creating future enemy. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Kasanda, district, and thank you so much, dear viewers. We've come to the end of this edition of the Daybreak. Thank you so much for always watching BTM TV. Our normal programming continues for the day. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. From me and the team, we wish you nothing but a blessed day. May the good Lord continue protecting you and blessing you. Until we meet again, say goodbye for now. See you then.